To make you aware, this podcast will contain conversations around mental health and well-being and could include issues of a sensitive nature. This is a podcast from Torfaen Talks CIC.
Welcome then to the third podcast.
Hello, welcome to episode 3.
It's June. Where the heck has the year gone so far? We've had a busy old couple of weeks.
It has been busy. It's been lovely. It's been great. We've met some amazing people. And yeah, it's June.
Yeah, where did that happen?
June.
Yeah.
I know. It's gone quick.
It has,
But
yeah.
It's gone really slow all at the same time. If that makes any sense at all.
Not really sure how that's
She
actually
says,
possible. Yeah, we're just trying to
I
avoid
have to watch my
things.
steps while doing a podcast as well.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah. Do not do a podcast while walking.
Yeah, watch where you put your feet
Watch
if you are.
Exactly, yeah. So this month and this episode, what are we talking about?
Well, this week we've got Jacob.
Oh, yeah.
That you spoke to.
That's right.
From Torfaen Sports Development, and he's come talk to yourself for talking about the For Dads by Dads project.
Yeah, that was a really interesting project. It's been going since 2022.
I was so sad not to be there on the day because obviously I was working at the time. Jacob came and talked to us about the For Dads by Dads project, talking about it being a 10-week course.
That's right.
And what's included in that course. You know, not only is there first aid and mental health support, there's also free gym membership.
Yeah, I know.
Incredible. Yeah. Parenting advice especially.
It's a tricky situation, tricky time if you become a dad for the first time.
Well, I imagine it's really daunting.
Oh, absolutely,
It must
yeah.
be really daunting to be a dad for the first time. It must be really daunting to be a dad second, third time, fourth time maybe as well. Who knows?
Exactly.
I'm imagining Mick Jagger now, all of a
Okay.
sudden. Imagine how he must feel with all those children. But that feeling
Yeah.
of being a new dad or a new mum, it's tapping into those feelings, isn't it, of what that's going to be like, and the unknown, as we know,
Yeah,
is the most
absolutely.
scariest thing in the world. If you don't know something and there's a change,
Yeah.
you know, unknown and change all in one go.
Well, I think we need to come from outside and go inside because
It is getting a bit,
it's starting to rain.
it's getting a bit stormy.
Let's go
out
inside
here, so let's
and
go inside.
we continue our little intro into the latest episode because it's also Volunteers Week.
It's Volunteers Week, so the first week of June mostly tends
Yeah.
to be Volunteers Week. And yeah, so, you know, we just want to take the opportunity to thank our amazing volunteers here at Torfaen Talks CIC, because without them we wouldn't be able to run it.
Absolutely.
Equally, we are volunteers.
That's the biggest shock to me because I think a lot of people do think, do you get paid for that? No, we don't. No, we don't. No.
We do this because we love community and we know how much, you know, mental health and wellbeing support is needed in the area, especially on weekends and especially in the evenings. Yeah, so we do this voluntarily, but also our volunteer counsellors, they do it voluntary as well.
They're brilliant.
They're amazing.
They are.
Absolutely amazing. They put up with us being first-time business people. They
Yeah.
really do.
And also big shout out to our board as well because they're all
Yes.
volunteers too because
Yeah.
without our board, this, right now, you wouldn't actually be hearing this.
No.
Does that sound really dramatic?
No, but it's true. It's
true,
true.
yeah.
Without our board, we wouldn't be able to have this podcast. We wouldn't be able to give the low-cost counselling that we do. We wouldn't be able to do these wellbeing drop-ins. Yeah, so we wouldn't be able to do anything without voluntary work from us, from our volunteer counsellors and our volunteer board members.
And it's also the 40th anniversary of Volunteers Week. I'm a fact person. I know these things.
Yes! Well, it's...
The thing is with volunteers, it doesn't have to be just, you know, formal volunteering.
No,
Because people talk about volunteering, they think working in a charity shop or befriending, that sort of thing, or being a volunteer counsellor. But it's also informal as well. If you help your neighbour pick up a prescription or do their shopping, that's volunteering too.
It's all volunteering, of course it is.
And it's good for the soul.
It's good for the soul, and we're helping keeping everything going. That's how it is. Because all these little acts of kindness all add up, and they're all there to help others, as well as the great feeling that we get from doing it as well.
With that then, I think we talked about Volunteers Week. I think now, are we ready to have a chat with Jacob?
Who's very lovely and very tall, apparently.
I'm out and about then and having chats with different people. Going to be talking soon then with Jacob from For Dads by Dads. It's starting to rain a little bit, so I'm kind of hoping where we're going to meet is undercover. So let's go and meet Jacob. In a nutshell, what's that?
So, For Dads by Dads is a 10-week programme that we run through Torfaen Sports Development and Torfaen Early Years team to prepare dads into the journey into fatherhood. So whether they're new dad or an expecting dad, we want to work with them and help them become the best dad that they can be.
What exactly does that entail? Because, being a dad is probably, for some people, it can be quite a shock. For other people, they're fully prepared. What kind of things are you talking about within the 10-week course?
So we cover a range of topics. We cover perinatal mental health, we cover psychology, covering what sort of dad you want to be, nutrition, gambling, gaming, vaping, smoking, general mental health. We've actually got a target setting session which the dads can look at addressing what they want to look at in their lives, and it's just helping them to become the best dads that they can be and support the family that they're with, whether it's the mother to their child, the wife to their child, but just being the best dad that they can be, to be the best parent that they can be, to support their families.
It's a 10-week course. Can you break down, for example, the first week? What would the first week look like?
So the first week would be an introduction, so it would be the dads coming in, meeting ourselves, Gareth and I, in which we just break down the barriers really, just give them an overview of the programme, just have a chat to them, and it's quite informal really. We have a chat about finding out a bit about themselves, what's their interests, what do they enjoy doing, are they an expecting dad, are they a new dad, and how we can help them really moving forward, because there's a lot of dads out there who would love this kind of support, but they don't know where to start. So we try to make sure that we create a safe space with the dads to know that whatever we discuss in the session, there's no judgment, there's no sort of laughing or joking about certain situations, that we're all there as men and dads to make sure that we can equip and help each other become the best dads that we can be, but also be the best husbands that we can be, or the best partners that we could be, or the best people that we can be.
Part of the 10-week course, can you do like first aid, psychology sessions as well? Free gym membership too?
Yeah, so the free gym membership, we work with Torfaen Leisure Trust, who give us a 3 months gym membership for the dads to use in the gym and the swimming pool, so they can take their little ones as well. So that goes for, the first month is free, then there's a reduced rate for 5 months if the dads want to take that membership on. We've had a number of dads recently join from the previous programme, in which 3 of them have joined the gym as a result of that free opportunity, which has been great. But they've also joined the gym with each other. They weren't friends previously until this programme, so they get up and go in the mornings and train together, which they're making it sustainable for themselves, which is great for us because they're building friendships outside the group.
So it's all part and parcel, I suppose, of reducing social isolation, because becoming a dad for the first time, or even for the second time, that can be quite an isolating time, I suppose, can't it?
Oh, 100%. So when we first started in January 2022, we were just coming out of lockdown. So the guidance and guidelines at that time was very different to what it is now, in which we had to distance, potentially wear masks, we had to, wipe things over. So it was really tough for some of the dads. Fortunately for me, my daughter's a bit older, so I didn't have her in COVID, but a lot of the dads who were with their partners and the mothers to their children had to potentially sit outside and wait. So it was a tough time for families, not just dads, but families in general, that they couldn't access provisions in hospitals as normal day, which, like you said, is isolation really. So sometimes they didn't have that support mechanism because we had to work with people being in our bubble, which meant that we couldn't go outside of that bubble in case of the risk of spreading. So yeah, I think it was a tough time for families in general, for anyone who had a child in that time. It must have been really tough for them. As
an offshoot of these sessions, the men kind of make their own kind of social groups too, don't they? Yeah, they do. So we do WhatsApp groups with the dads in the programmes. We share information, find out about their weekends, they share about what they're doing. But yeah, some of the guys have met up and gone bowling, they've gone to the pub. We also have worked in partnership with Newport County and the community and Newport Gwent Dragons and offered them match day tickets. So the chance for them to go over and have a pint and a burger and sort of have their own time, because we're massive advocates that parents, mums and dads should have their own time and interest and hobbies
where they can make time for themselves, because we always put everyone else first.
Yes.
So we've got to learn to put ourselves first instead of everyone else. It's not a selfish thing. We all need something to look forward to and a bit of downtime. So we encourage the dads to get involved in our programme based on some of the opportunities that we can offer them.
It started in 2022. What's the future looking like for this programme?
It's growing. It's grown a lot in a short space of time because it's a very bespoke programme. There's not many opportunities out there for these dads groups. We don't see much. So on this programme, we had 2 dads come down from Swansea because they wanted to be part of the programme and invest in being the best dads they can be and the best parent that they could be. So we've had a lot of dads get involved, and it's grown. Obviously, we're working with the NHS and Myron Bevan, Fathers Outreach, Fathers Network Scotland. We're working with a lot of partners, which is great because they're supporting us and we're supporting them. So we're all sort of supporting each other. So it's a really good network of people to be surrounded by. So it's grown through the roof.
And the next session is going to be in September?
Yeah, September 2024.
So how do people get involved? How do they become part of For Dads by Dads?
If you see any of our flyers or posters, you can scan the QR code which takes you to a booking form. Failing that, you can go onto our social media, Torfaen Sports Development or Torfaen Early Years team, and you can access the booking forms via the social media. So we're on Instagram, Twitter, X or Facebook.
Perfect. Jacob, thanks for talking to me today.
Thanks for your time. Thank you.
If you'd like to be involved in the podcast, please message or voice note on WhatsApp. Our number is 07851 138 610. And that was the lovely Jacob and Patrick talking about the project For Dads by Dad.
But no, it was really informative talking with Jacob. That project's only been going since 2022.
Yeah.
He was talking about his own experience becoming a father and during lockdown as well, and all the stresses that would have brought about too. But this project, it's actually not his day-to-day role. He does work for Torfaen Sports Development, and this has kind of taken off more than he could possibly imagine. Now, he's supported by Gareth, and Gareth has kind of helped push it further. The main idea of it, you would have heard Jacob talking, it's about a 10-week course, different sessions, and the shot of what actually has happened is the men have come together, then they kind of go off and do their own thing as well. They socialise outside of these groups. So for a new dad, for an old dad, I suppose too, it can be very, very isolating.
Yeah.
To become, in that time, becoming a dad and all the problems.
There's different ways of being a dad today, isn't there? You know, you've
yeah.
got being a dad for a first time, but you've got sometimes being a stepdad and what that feels like. You know, being an adoptive father, you know, when you're adopting a child. Those feelings can be quite hard to put into words, but if you meet other people who are going through what you go through, it's like you've got that something in common, so you sort of click.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising to me that they already have this kind of social group that has developed after the courses that they, you know, I think they go and do things together.
They do, yeah.
And I think Jacob mentioned to you about going for a walk around Pontnewydd
That's right,
Park.
Yeah.
As well, I think did he mention that is like before?
That's kind of before course. Each session. They have a walk around. Men, we don't really talk at all about mental health and well-being. They find men talk better when they're side by side. So it's kind of been proven that men talk better side by side. So
sometimes when you sit down and think, right, we're talking about mental health and well-being,
yeah, you
it's
just
intense.
Don't. No, exactly. Yeah. Oh no.
You know, and it doesn't have to be that way. So I think the lovely way that Jacob described it is kind of, you know, walking around the park, very much like what we do on our walks.
Yeah,
really.
true.
You know, we walk side by side, and I think it sort of encourages just a full flow of talking without the intensity of thinking about eye contact or any of that. It is just walking, talking, and just getting your feelings out there. If
you ask a man to talk about his feelings, how often would he actually talk about his feelings?
It's very rare, to be honest, and I think anybody would. I know I'm a counsellor, but I think if someone said, talk to me about your feelings...
Yeah, oh yeah.
My wall would go straight.
You shut down straight away.
Of course I would.
Because when he was talking about that earlier, I thought, well, if I was in that situation, I'd be like, no, you're okay, I'm fine. And I thought, well, yeah, actually, but then when you're in a social environment, be that in one of these groups, albeit the fact that they've gone out to the football or to the pub after. You kind of...
But it's natural.
It's
just
natural,
a natural
yeah.
thing. I think, if you put somebody on the spot, that's not going to help anybody.
No, exactly.
But if it's just natural that you just start talking, and it hasn't got to be about mental health and well-being, it could be that you're talking about the football, could be you're talking about the rugby, could be that you're talking about Love Island from yesterday, whatever floats your boat. But if you're talking, that sharing is caring, and it doesn't have to be about mental health and well-being when you're talking. It's great if it can be, if you bring in your feelings about it, but talking is just good in any shape or form. But we are talking as child-free people.
Yeah,
so,
I suppose we are.
We're looking at it from a different perspective, really. And even, how I'm saying that, I think saying when we're child-free makes it sound glamorous. But then if we said we were childless, then it gives it an emotion.
It
so
does something, yeah.
So I had to kind of think how I was going to say that. But yes, we are quite happy being child-free, so don't worry about that. But I think we can empathise with that pressure that Jacob's talking about. But we couldn't really fully understand that pressure, I suppose, unless you're a parent. And that's what's so good with dads, is because they understand those pressures.
Exactly, yeah.
They really do,
Yeah, spot on.
So following on from Jacob's conversation, because we were discussing about dads and obviously us being child-free, and it got us thinking, with June now, Father's Day is
Father's Day, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, Father's Day, I think it's the 16th of June.
It is,
this
yes.
year. It's usually the second Sunday of June. But it got us thinking, sometimes, Father's Day isn't always a celebration.
No, that's right.
And it can be, for a lot of people, it can be a really great time, especially first-time dads. It can be a really great time.
Absolutely.
But sometimes Father's Day and any anniversaries really are a day of pain, and it can be really difficult. So we just wanted to point you in the right direction. If it is that you want that support, then please visit our website,
Torfaen Talks CIC.org.uk.
and if you feel that support is more than maybe just wanting a chat about it, that you maybe want to join for Dads by Dads, maybe it is that you feel you want more of an in-depth counselling support, then if you go onto our website, there is a referral form on there if you feel that you need counselling support for that, because I think it really highlights, especially Father's Day, is the grief around it. And I think that grief can sometimes not only be because that person has passed away, it can be that you have a difficult relationship with your father, and that they are still here, but it's difficult and it's painful that time of year anyway. Could be that you are a father that's lost a child. It could also be the pain of losing a child, and you're still a father, but not to somebody that's here, and that's got to be really painful to deal with. So it can also not always be a celebration, but a day of pain for a lot of people.
The thing is, in Torfaen, there are several bereavement groups on there, which I think we'll talk about them. Yes.
So in August coming up, there is National Grief Day.
Okay.
And there is a lot of amazing bereavement support groups throughout Torfaen. And we are hoping to catch up with them and tell you more about it. So if you do feel you need that bereavement support, then it is in your area. It doesn't have to just be us, through us, if you don't feel it's counselling support you need. It's sometimes just being around someone that understands that grief.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And that sometimes can be, they understand it without even talking. The pain of losing a child is unimaginable, isn't it? And how that must feel to be with another person that's also lost a child. You don't even need to communicate that pain. You just both know that pain. And the amazing support that is already out there. But if you feel you need counselling with it, honestly, get in touch with us at Torfaen Talks CIC on our website. There's a referral form. But if you feel that you just want to be around people that's grieving how you're grieving, then there are these amazing bereavement support groups throughout Torfaen, and we will talk about them more in our next episode.
And also the day after Father's Day, it's Mental Health Father's Day too. So it's a new thing which kind of talks a little bit about what we've been talking about today, to recognise the different levels of relationships they have with being a father, with their fathers, that sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, because there are people who have never known their fathers and the pain that's around that. There are people who have lost their fathers. There's people who want to be a father and experience the pain of not having to be a father. You know, like I said, there's people who have lost children. I think that day especially, because I think it's the day after Father's Day, is good to know. So we will put that on our socials, because Jacob did mention it to us, didn't he, around that support. But I think it's International Fathers Mental Health Day. That's what it's called. And it's supporting fathers, really.
What we'll do, as you said, we'll put that out on our socials so you have more information about it. If you do need further support, we can via the website torfaentalkscic.org.uk or get in touch via our socials.
Yeah, we've got a lovely event that we're going to be attending.
That's right, at Crossy Caelog Cricket and Rugby Club on the 12th of June. Lots of things happening here, like advice on finance and the cost of living, free health screenings too. It's going to be taking place here.
What's really great about this men's health event, so it's not specifically zoning in on mental health, but it's health
in general,
so general health. So I think that's fantastic. It's taken in health and physically and mentally, but it's in Crossy. It's 5 till 8. It's in an evening.
Yeah.
So it's
that's
fantastic that our ethos, especially, is that you know we're not being 9 to 5, and it's really fantastic that this event is being put on. I think it's via TVA.
That's right,
INW.
Yeah, the Integrated Wellbeing Network.
I think I got all of the letters in the wrong order, but we're going to go with it.
I still can't believe I actually remembered that.
Well done.
Yeah.
and obviously Torfaen Council, they're putting on this event. So I really think it's fantastic that it's going to be talking about fitness, nutrition, mental health. It's also talking with the groups that are going to be in the area. Obviously, we're going to be there. We're going to be there. But what I'm mostly looking forward to is the people turning up, you know, the men turning up, to know what support is around them. When you have, and I know this isn't mental health specific, but when you have mental health, you feel so alone. So for them to see that other men have turned up as well, that's going to be, for me, what it's about. And then put in on top of that, then we've got a male voice choir. I'm going to be crying. I'm going to be crying.
Yeah, but there's also the darts competition too.
Oh, well, you know. To save my life.
Nothing else to say really about that, but it's going to be a really good event.
That is going to be a really good event. So yeah, we're really looking forward to attending that. So yeah, that's what you're going to hear next. Find us on social media at Torfaen Talks CIC. For more details about what we do, look on our website torfaentalkscic.org.uk.
Proves really of how busy it was, or there was so much going on, because you just heard from the Pontnewydd Male Choir, who were just incredible. If you would like to join a choir, because it is good for your well-being, singing.
Absolutely, fantastic to sing and be part of a group as well. It's so good for your well-being. And as the lady did say, the MD, is it?
The musical, MD, that's it.
You know, she said they are trying to bring the average age level down of their group. So if you're male, and I think she even said if you weren't male, it didn't matter, but they are looking for anyone that would like to sing, because I think there's a ladies segment as well.
There is, yeah, that's right.
In the choir. But oh my goodness, some of
They were
those songs,
awesome, weren't they?
They were absolutely incredible, and just seeing some of their faces, I know you can't appreciate on a podcast,
No.
but some of their faces, they were singing their heart out, and it meant so much to them to be in front of an audience. Like, yeah, it was just incredible. So yeah, if you want to get involved with that, please get in touch with them.
Pontnewydmalechoir.com is the address you need to go to. Because not only, we had the choir, we were sat next to TLC Community Church too.
We were, and we were sat next to Tony, weren't we? And he was absolutely lovely to talk to.
He was, yeah.
So not only does he run TLC Church, I'm
Yeah.
not saying I'm sure he doesn't run the whole thing, but he's also the balloon man.
He's a
as
balloon
well.
man, yeah.
Man of many talents.
Who knew?
So if you need balloons, do it.
Yep.
And magician. If you need a magician.
Hang on, what does he do? He does. He also has a flea circus.
Wow.
I know, yeah. Balloon man, magic show, and dance party too.
Yeah.
And balloons.
Absolutely incredible. But he was mostly there. Again, he did promote those things, but he was mostly there for TLC Church, wasn't he? And
That's
what
right,
goes
yeah.
on. Yeah. So tell us more.
They have got quite a few different things going on at TLC Community Church, and in a future episode, I'm going to be going down, having a chat with him, and seeing what exactly they do down there for Wellbeing within Two Locks in Cwmbran.
Yeah, because I believe they've got a choir, they've got a men's meeting group as well, and they've got a women's conference. So it covers all sorts of areas, as much as it's not mental health and well-being specific. These things are these groups, it's all part of the community, and that is all about building your well-being. So they were really lovely to talk to, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And not only they were on the one side, on the other side,
Torfaen Play was the other side, and as you've already heard from Jacob
Yeah.
earlier in the podcast, he was there, but the rest of the team from Torfaen Play were there. I believe you met with Gareth. I didn't really get a chance to speak with him.
We talked about Gareth earlier on in this episode. Finally met Gareth. Hiya, Gareth. It's nice to catch up with him and actually put a face to the name.
The name, yes. Yeah. And then I got a chance also to speak with Richard, who works for Torfaen Play.
Yeah.
And what a lovely gentleman. I was talking to him, and we were talking about the event, really, and the people that were turning up, and how well it's needed within the Torfaen community for men's health. And yeah, just through talking, he was also telling me, as well as Torfaen Play, he volunteers with Samaritans.
Does he? Wow.
And has been for the last 20 years.
20 years.
So
That's
how
incredible.
commendable is that? I'm sure he's listened to a lot of things. Yeah, honestly, I just take my hat off to him and applaud him, because
Absolutely.
that is incredible. 20 years
Yeah,
of working
wow.
for the Samaritans. And as I was saying, a lot of our services, well, any services, not even the third sector, will say, we're not a crisis service, call the Samaritans. And that is always the exit strategy, is to call the Samaritans if in crisis. So you can only imagine how busy they are. But
Yeah, absolutely.
honestly, if you don't know the Samaritans and you need help, they are always there. There's always listeners at the Samaritans 24/7, so any time of the day, any day, even Christmas Day. And it was breaking my heart how many people he said he has spoken to on Christmas Day.
Oh, wow.
But fantastic organisation, the Samaritans.
Because I think the one thing we've kind of realised in the events that we've been going to the last couple of weeks or so is how much of a small world the sector is. Because you met with somebody from Jonathan's house.
Jonathan's house, yes, yeah, I have been cheerleading this. They're a CIC, so they're very much like ourselves, so they're like a charity. Yeah, they are an organisation that raise awareness and support males that are going through domestic abuse.
Right.
He said they're very much on the way now of getting their first male refuge
Oh,
house
wow.
as well.
That's incredible.
He said that they've only been running for a year, but I feel I've known about them for a good 6 to 9 months at least. And yeah, I've already referred people to Jonathan's house. Yes, they are fantastic. So I would recommend looking at their website. It's jonathanshouse, all one word, .org.uk. And you can contact them for help with support. They do have a helpline as well. So if you're not quite ready to leave that relationship or the situation that you're in, you're able to just talk to somebody.
Because I think with this month being Men's Mental Health Month, I think it surprises me, to be honest, that the services for women with Women's Aid in Cyfannol, in Torfaen, for example, but I wasn't aware of any for men.
It's very rare. It is rare, yes, yeah. And this is the only one I know local to Torfaen.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so it's very rare, because there are helplines, but
Right,
they
yeah.
don't tend to be Torfaen specific. So with Jonathan's house, they are. Yeah, it was just lovely. We was talking to Jodie, weren't we? from
Yeah,
Jonathan.
that's right, yeah.
I think he thinks everyone calls him
Everybody
Jonathan.
calls him Jonathan, yeah. Which we could see why that would happen.
Yes,
Because, yeah.
Yeah, his name is Jodie, and he was so lovely to talk to. So yeah, definitely someone that we're going to be partnershipping up with. Shipping, as the kids say, don't they?
Do they?
They do. But yeah, so if you are feeling that you're living in a situation that you're male, then Jonathan's house is definitely something I would look into and refer into, and have that helpline and those resources is there to help.
Now we're talking, not only was there the choir, also a comedian too.
Yeah, comedian was there, darts competition.
Darts competition
I know,
too.
I was too scared to walk in that room in case
There were,
a dart came up my head.
there were prizes for the darts competition.
There was, yeah.
I'm so disappointed I didn't go there to lose at darts and see what I could have won.
See what you could have won.
Yeah, but
Proper bullseye.
also outside, Tidy Buck were there too.
Yeah, Tidy Butt were there. They did recommend everybody bring their bathers, didn't they? Or their
Oh,
trunks.
I didn't get that memo.
Or avoiding the cold water.
Yep.
But yeah, they had the cold water
Bath, is it?
baths.
Yeah.
Or tanks.
Tanks,
I think they're
yeah.
a bath, I think. I don't know. But kind of the fold away ones that I seen that Simon did it.
Simon, yeah, he did it.
Simon did it. He braved the cold water,
Oh,
bless him. And it wasn't
Simon.
the warmest outside either.
Oh no.
But yeah, bless him, he did it. And again, health benefits there coming from the cold water. And obviously they go up to the keepers as well, up in Blenavon, to the pond. Fantastic organisation, Tidy Bet. I mean, we spoke to the lovely Matthew
That's right, we
about
did,
it.
yeah.
And Jonathan as
I
well.
think, yes, we did, yeah. We had
Yeah,
a
so
chat with
Jonathan's
Jonathan,
from Incremental Health that's also linked to Tidy Bet.
yeah,
so,
he works for them. Yeah.
Yes.
In future episodes, you will actually hear these people that we're talking about now.
Yes.
So it'd be lovely to connect with Tidy Butt, because the work they've been doing in Torfaen for the last 4 years now, since lockdown and everything, the work they are doing is it's amazing. And you will often see, as you've just said, the keeper's pond on a very cold Sunday morning.
On a cold Sunday
Yeah.
morning, or sometimes the Friday evening one.
Is
so
it?
when I tend to seem to drive past at the right time that they're all in there, and I just see lots of heads bobbing in the water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I still haven't got my bathers.
No.
No, not at
Yeah,
all.
still forgotten me.
I have, yeah. And also, some of the other organisations here, Bowel Cancer UK, now I'm going to be talking with Bowel Cancer UK, because I think some of the work they've been doing in the fit test with bowel cancer is just amazing over the last 18 months or so. So they've been part of a campaign for people to be more aware of bowel cancer. Going to be speaking to a lot of people in the future, aren't we?
Yeah, well, awareness is key, isn't it? And
Absolutely,
I think
yeah.
especially when it comes to health concerns and screenings, and it is all about early intervention really as best you can. So yeah, you spoke with bowel cancer, the
right,
lovely
yeah.
Di from prostate cancer.
That's right, yes.
UK,
yeah.
he came over, introduced
Yeah.
himself, so he was absolutely lovely to talk to. And I think the main part was sort of just breaking the stigma around it. And I think especially around bowels and prostate, everyone's got that little bit of a stigma or embarrassment with it, really.
Absolutely,
And I
yeah.
think it is about just trying to break that, because for that 5 seconds or 5 minutes of embarrassment, I'm going more seconds, that's going to save a lifetime of pain or save your life.
Yeah, and I think with both of those, with prostate cancer and bowel cancer, higher impact on men
Yes.
of getting the message out there to men. And that's what this event was about tonight.
Yes, yeah, and it was really lovely to see the footfall of men that came in. I genuinely thought they were going to be coming in couples, I suppose.
Oh,
Like a partner bringing their
Okay,
partner,
yeah.
or a mother bringing her son, or something
Yeah.
like that. But generally, I felt a lot of people were coming in on their own, unless they just sort of separated when they were looking at the tables. Yeah, that for me, I did really feel that kind of impact of, do you know what, well done to you, because that is a first step. It's like going to the gym for the first time, something like that. Stepping in to something like that on your own really does take a lot of bravery and a lot of courage. And as the saying goes, before change, there's courage. And that really was what I saw with these men that were coming in and talking to us. It took a lot of courage to walk through that door.
Oh, absolutely.
And to speak with people and just to finding out what help they needed.
Yeah, exactly.
Really,
yeah.
and to just find out, well, might not need it now, but in the future I might, and now I know where to go. If they need volunteering, there's TVA. If they need employment support, then
Communities Work Plus.
yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
And if it's mental health, then obviously there's us and there's Tidybit, and equally that mental health support can look different in different ways. It could be joining a choir, it could be having counselling, or it could be having just some support of a men's group to talk within,
Of course, we mentioned about the choir, which they were incredible.
They were.
But there was also, I do like a sea shanty.
You do?
I got obsessed with Fisherman's Friends. The film and the group.
I'm glad you specified the film then.
Yeah, not the cough suite, obviously, because that would just be we friends of fishermen. I see what could have happened then. I'm absolutely obsessed with sea shanties now. Yeah. Because a couple of weeks back, down in Barry Island, this band, Bois Y Bryn, who are from Cwmbran, they were part of the Festival of the Sea, which was there to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the RNLI. They kind of put this thing together, which I think is going to become an annual event down there now too. Okay. But in the meantime, they were there tonight and they were just amazing. And
so be prepared for what you're about to hear, because it's literally been in my head since we left. I still know the dance moves and everything.
Yeah, so, The one good thing about being on the podcast is you can't see us doing the dance moves. Because they were good, though. They were brilliant.
They were very good. Lots of clapping, lots of just involvement, and just lots of good fun, wasn't it?
And they're just enjoying themselves. And they have got a website. They're on social media. If you do need to find them, it's Bois Y Bryn. BOISY BRYN. I don't know why I feel the need.
I can't even say it, let alone spell it. So well done you.
I don't know why I felt the need to spell it because it's Welsh. But if you are searching, they are great. And I think without further ado, let's have a listen to them.
Yeah.
And that's us kind of done, really, for this episode. That was a really good event, wasn't it?
That was an amazing event. It was so lovely to see such amazing organisations there showing more support that is on offer. It's especially lovely to see it that they've turned up in the evening. That's even good. Exactly. I feel we're the only night owls out sometimes, so it's always good to know and see those out in the night as well. But what an amazing event. It was so lovely to see how many people did turn up. And I think, it was fathers, it was brothers, it was friends coming along. Yeah, it was really, really good. But I'm tired now.
You're tired now. And with that is another episode done and dusted. You can get in touch with us, of course, across social media at Torfaen Talks CIC.
Yeah, find out where we are. Just drop us an email and we can let you know when is the next Wellbeing event nearest to you, when our next Wellbeing drop-in will be, or like I said, if you feel that there's counselling that you need, then all the referral information is on our website. And
that website is torfaentalkscic.org.uk. I wasn't going to ask you to remember.
Thank you, I can't ever remember it.
Because I'm still amazed I actually remembered Integrated Wellbeing Network.
I don't even know my name at this point. Let's get a cup of tea, let's get the kettle on. Let's get a bit of caffeine in us now that event is done. Just thank you for listening, everyone. I hope you are having a great June, and we will catch you on the next episode.
Catch you then.
If you'd like to be involved in the podcast, please message or voice note on WhatsApp. Our number is 07851 138 610. This is a podcast from Torfaen Talks CIC.